It's your responsibility to stay engaged and passionate. It's our responsibility. It's your own personal responsibility. Nobody can make you do what you're supposed to do.
There are people in this room right now who, if they die, will be translated into heaven, and they will bear upon themselves a glory unspeakable. And there are other people in this room right now who, if they die, will be sent by the judgment of God straight into hell.
Now, how would you like to be sitting in a church and the pastor's up there talking, and he looks down at the congregation, he goes, "Some of you guys are going to go to hell." How would you like that? I mean, that's pretty powerful, in my opinion. That's just what he just said. And I don't know how many of you are listening, but the people watching this re-uploaded without all the chatting and the chat room distractions, you can hear this, what he's saying right here. I mean, this is what struck me as, I better listen to this. I better listen to what he's saying here, literally. Because you don't hear that kind of word, that kind of honesty coming from the pulpit.
Where the grace of God is totally removed and they will be revealed as the monsters that they truly are. You see, those of us who preach the gospel, we are not here to entertain you. We are not here to talk to you about temporal things, about how you can get the best that you can get out of this present life. No, I am not concerned tonight about your self-esteem. I am not concerned about whether or not your billfold and your checkbook balance themselves out. I'm concerned about one thing. One day, each and every one of you will stand naked before a holy God and you will be judged. That is my great concern. This is not a game. This is not something that has to do with culture, Western or Eastern. This has to do with the Word of the living God, the gospel of Jesus Christ, life and death, heaven and hell. And it is an amazing burden for a preacher to stand before a group of people knowing that some of you will hear my voice and go to heaven when you die, and others of you will hear warning after warning after warning, and you will not listen, and you will die under the wrath of God and spend eternity in hell.
Wow. Telling them right to their faces. Some of you listening out there right now are going to keep hearing and not change. You're not going to be born again. You're not going to make a difference. You're going to keep hearing, and you're going to go straight to hell. That's what he just said. Let's hear that again.
And others of you will hear warning after warning after warning, and you will not listen, and you will die under the wrath of God and spend eternity in hell. That is why it is such a difficult thing to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Many of you who are older, you know what it's like to follow Christ. You know what it's like to pay dearly for your faith. You know what it's like to suffer. You would rather die than deny Jesus Christ or live in a way that contradicts His word. But young people, listen to me. Many of you were raised here. Many of you were born in the West. And you need to be very, very careful. This Christianity is not a cultural thing. This Christianity is not something that just should be a small part of your life. It is not something that you do on Sunday. Christianity is not about you living in the world 6 days a week and coming to church. Christianity is not about you being just like the world all the time and then coming to church on Sunday. If that is your Christianity, you have no Christianity.
You see, and this is how I feel like I've been in the last couple of weeks. You know, I really get into the weekend live streams, but then lately I've just been kind of falling back into my lazy, lukewarm, not putting forth the effort throughout the week. So these kinds of messages are necessary to sustain our readiness, our intensity in God. Okay? It's your responsibility to stay engaged and passionate and hungry. It's our responsibility. It's your own personal responsibility. Nobody can make you do what you're supposed to do, except that relationship with God where you're into the position with God where you can feel that grieving of the Spirit, so necessary in our lives, to have that place where we are sensitive to doing the wrong thing. Staying lukewarm, it should bother me. I'm not comfortable here. I am not satisfied at all when I spend time wasting my time. And it lingers. It continues. It persists in a lukewarm, vanity state of being. It's very unsatisfactory. So coming across messages that light the fire to my feet are critical. Messages I can't get anywhere else. And making yourself listen, sit down and listen to the words that you need, that your soul needs to get off of that lazy, ice-cold recliner, get off of that spiritual stagnant position that we're falling into. It's so important, brothers and sisters, so important that we do whatever we have to do to snap out of it, snap out of that condition.